The metaphysical breakdown of wicked for good. The metaphysical breakdown of wicked for good. Serpent fire. Serpent fire. What's the deal, family? What's the deal? What's the deal? Dreamwise here for another one. Yes, sir. We are here. We made it. Happy holidays to the family. And you know, Dream came bearing some gifts. You know, Dream came bearing some gifts. You know how Dream get. It's holiday spirit, holiday feeling. I'm feeling good. So let me give y'all this gift real quick. From Dreamwise alone. Check me out. You good man, baby. What's up? All right, yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, this ain't no AI. This is real. Woo! I'm talking about Christmas time, baby. Well, yeah. Woo! Let them ring, let them ring, let them ring. City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air, there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile after smile. And on every street corner, you'll hear, oh, silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Strings of street lights, even stoplights, blink a bright red and green as the shoppers rush home with their treasure. Hear the snow crunch, see the kids bunch. This is Santa's big scene. And above all this bustle, you'll hear. Let's get it, baby. Silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling. Hey, what's up, baby? Ring-a-ling. It will be Christmas Day. Hey, yo, this is Dream, and I would like to say have a happy holidays to each and every one of you. Hey, my name is Dream, and I want to say Merry Christmas and God bless you. My name is Dream, and I would like to say let's spread all the little love, peace, and I'm Dream. These are greetings from a few good men. And you all a good night. Silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Hey, what's up, baby? Ring-a-ling, ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Hey. What's up, family? What's the deal, man? What's the deal? What's the deal? We here. We made it. Ring-a-ling. Ring-a-ling. Hey, this ain't no Grinch. This ain't no Grouch. This none of that, baby. We here. We gonna make things happen. We're gonna shake it up on this Christ Mass Energy Day. What's up, baby? What's up? That's my gift to y'all. That is my gift to y'all. Look, hey, look, I just want the family to understand, like, hey, Sometimes we got to let go and let God. And then letting go and letting God, you got to feel good about feeling good. If the world is in this particular spirit of feeling good, no matter if they got tricked into it or not, you will feel that unconscious collective energy around grandmas and stuff bringing gifts, you know what I'm saying? Grandparents, your parents, your co-workers, your family members, your friends, they all in this cheering spirit. So why would you be the Grinch? Message. Hey, I'm just telling you what it is. We got to wake up out of that slumber and understand when you enter into the matrix, there's particular times when people are feeling joyous. And don't let that stop your light. Wicked decoded, wicked decoded, wicked for good decoded, jungle fever. Now, this is a very fire movie that I want the family to go see and check out if you haven't seen it, because it's a spiritual movie. And in spirit, you know what I'm saying, is going to give us plays and understandings of something a little bit deeper, something a little bit stranger that we got to understand to the core. So I'm excited about this. Let me stop this real quick. Let's get it on. Okay, so y'all know I did the first one, I guess sometime last year when it came out, right? And essentially Elphaba was, she was the main victor, if you will. If you think about Elphaba's energy in that first one, she was, a shell of herself, not sure of herself, had low self-esteem, right? And that particular energy was her, trying to fit into this college, trying to fit into this new world that she was going into. And she was just trying to figure herself out because she was so different. So now when she's coming into this college and just trying to find her identity, trying to find her place in the world, essentially she has to uh, move into a space of her gnosis, her self-love, right? And that's what she did. And then I decoded it simply based off of the pink and green, right? The pink and green, or the princess and the frog, because Elphaba just represents that Heket energy. And Heket is just about childbirth, resurrection, renewal, but it's really just about birthing yourself, rebirthing yourself. So that's what she was doing. And even in the aspect of the princess and the frog, when she turned into when the melanated goddess turned into the frog, she was just going through her stage, her cocoon stage, to rebirth herself. Same thing with Elphaba, right? And they did it massively, as you can see the images side by side, the melanated goddesses and the Caucasian goddesses. You feel me? Now, there's different aspects or ways to look at this thing, and race always plays a big play in symbolic breakdowns, in metaphysical breakdowns. So I want the family to understand that to the core. That's a huge thing. You feel me? Huge thing. And in understanding the race play, you can see symbols from a mile away. Very important to understand that, right? So we know Elphaba was Heket, right? The frog goddess, because I decoded it the first time in the first build, right? And essentially that frog goddess is just that rebirthing. You are rebirthing. You feel me? That's all it is. And even when we think about the green man or Osiris, it's the same energy. I did a pre-decode on saying how she was Osiris or the green man. You feel me? Maybe 2 years ago, before the movie actually came out. So, you know what I'm saying? We got to understand we are these green men, and we are the ones that they're talking about. And this melanin inside of us has to be activated in a particular way to turn us into the superhumans that we are, right? Superman and superwoman. You feel me? But first, it starts with the reflection piece. Who are you, right? You understanding that you have this particular love for yourself. So in the first one, they used the AKA energy heavy, because essentially what they were doing was putting a mirror up, right? And AKAs tend to feel confident about themselves. They're kind of unconsciously, collectively known as the prettiest ones on the yard, right? So essentially, what they did was they used this green and pink to stimulate or to give the family an understanding that, hey, if you feel good about yourself, if you feel radiant about yourself, if your sun is shining, then essentially you'll become enlightened, because that's one of the steps to getting through the gateway. That solar plexus energy, right? That you must work on, right, to find this self-esteem, self-love for yourself, is a very important chakra, because essentially it is the gateway to your heart and above, and to the spiritual realm. So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times what happens is we got this insecurity happening within us, and that kind of stifles our progression of becoming who we were destined to be. So, when I was in middle school, right, and high school, essentially, and high school, shit, one of my partners, well, a few of my partners, two of my partners, they were always known as the best basketball players on the yard. And I was always like the third fiddle. You feel me? Like, damn, what the fuck? Since we was in middle school, Thad and Tunde, Thad and Tunde, Thad and Tunde, right? And that kind of affected my subconscious in a particular way of saying, like, wait a minute, what the fuck? What about me, nigga? Y'all talking about these niggas, what about me? Nigga, this nigga Tunde beat me so bad one day on one-on-one. He beat me 10-0. We was in middle school, he just beat me 10-0. So I couldn't even fight the energy, right? And then my nigga Thad, and these were both of my close friends. Like, Tunde actually sold me this house that I'm in. And then Thad was my childhood friend since we was like 5, right? But I always heard them two names as the best basketball players in the yard. You feel me? And that kind of affected my psyche and my energy to say, well, I'm always going to be behind. I'm always going to be like this third fiddle type of thing. Sure enough, I started doing my work, and I started falling into the gnosis and knowledge of myself and loving on myself. And that particular energy started to die off heavy. So much so that, you know what I'm saying, it's fucked up. And it is a fucked up aspect to see it. But my nigga Thad ended up going to jail, and he's still in jail for another 30. And that shit fucked me up. Like, personally, it fucked me up. But spiritually, I could see, like, oh, wait a minute. I was holding these two particular friends of mine in a particular light that made me dim my light and make me feel a shell of myself or some kind of insecurity, right? So spiritually, even though I don't want my nigga Thad to be in jail, metaphysically, I can see that, you know what I'm saying, the situation wasn't always as grand as it seems. And then now, my nigga Tunde, he calls me for advice and spiritual gnosis. Like, he just called me the other day talking about, hey man, what's up on this Dogon energy and what's all this? Because he's trying to come in and break through to the conscious level as well. So he's just slowly taking his time into it. And you know what I'm saying? Even though both of them are in different boats and different situations, I'm still proud of my niggas. And you know what I'm saying? Shit. I gotta put money on my niggas' books. God damn. I hate to say that shit, but damn, that shit fuck. And then, you know what's so crazy? That shit kind of fucks with me a little bit too. Still to this day. You feel me? Because I don't want to see my nigga in jail. You feel me? And I don't take it as my fault, right? But you know what I'm saying? We both was running in the same particular patterns, and essentially one of us did take the fall, and it's absolutely a mess. But anyway, getting back to the point of this thing, your solar plexus chakra is everything. That's why this yellow brick road is an important staple in the Wizard of Oz and in Wicked. Like when they come on this wicked for good, the first thing you see is the yellow brick road. Essentially, what they're showing you is that your solar plexus is the gateway to your journey.
Message.
See, we got to understand how you feel about yourself is going to be the key in you doing more spiritual endeavors and spiritual plays out here. So you have to do that mirror magic work all the time, every day, damn near, because you're just a reflection. So your outside world is reflecting your inside world, and essentially, if your inside world is not being cultivated properly, essentially, right, you just keep on running into the same narratives and storylines that you're creating in this illusionary construct. So I want the family to understand that to the core. This is the gateway. They say the heart chakra is the gateway, but this is actually the gateway, because how you see yourself, what your vision about yourself is, the thoughts that you have about yourself, it all lies in this solar plexus chakra. Hell, even in the spiritual community, in these spiritual books, a lot of them speak on how important it is to send light to that solar plexus chakra area, right? Because essentially what's happening is that's the key and gateway to doing your great biddings. Because how you believe about yourself and what you think about yourself is what's limiting your progression into spiritual endeavors. So I want the family to understand that to the core. This is the gateway, and that's the true climb in this thing. Follow the yellow brick road.
Message.
So speaking of that, this is the whole movie. The end. This is the whole movie. The end. Now, you know what I'm saying? When I seen the movie the other day, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that's the movie. There you go. Right. And just understanding this wedding story as a key play in metaphysical breakdowns, in the inner alchemy. See, when the animals came in and they were about to get wed, right? And the animals came in, that's when I knew. I said, oh, okay, this thing is different. This thing is showing us something that a lot of people probably won't see, right? And even in Princess and the Frog, remember, he was about to get wed. You feel me? She was about to get wed to the prince, right? But essentially, the spell was broken through animals, and that wedding story is a big aspect of something inside of you that you got to unlock and uncover within yourself, right? This whole wedding idea, right? It's a metaphysical story that you're playing out in the form of a love relationship, but there's actually a love relationship inside of yourself that you got to see first. We had our first child, D-Ray and I had our first child, and he was turning one, my son, KJ, Kareem Jr. And essentially, you know what I'm saying, me and D-Ray been rocking for a while. We had our first son, and he was turning one, and he had a birthday party. And at that birthday party, I said, you know what? I'm going to propose to D-Ray. And sure enough, I did. I came into the birthday party with a goat outfit on. Baphomet.
Message.
A big ass goat mascot on. Look, I got that whole outfit in the stores. God damn. Looking like the goat. Goat God, yeah, that's me. And you know what I'm saying? You know, the family was in on it too, and they understood, right? And they just see me come in with this goat energy on, right? And essentially, I was doing a symbolic, spiritual play in the aspect of what weddings is and what marriage really is, truly is, right? So when I went down and took that one knee, and I was flooding like a bitch because it couldn't fit my big ass. God damn, I should have ordered a 6'7" outfit. As you know, you order from these overseas things, you think they might get it right. I ordered at 6'5". They put me in a 6 feet outfit, looking crazy, boy. I'm gonna send y'all some pictures. And essentially, you know what I'm saying, this animalistic energy is something that we got to understand to the core, because these animals are part of a bigger story, if you will, right? This animal is the zoo types, right? This uh, anthropomorphized energy that you see. So when you see the Asians celebrate their New Year's, their Lunar New Year, with these animals, essentially it's a particular spiritual message that derives from um, what this time is going to bring to you, right? So Panic did a video on zoo types, sometime way before he passed. And it was a profound video. And you know what I'm saying? I would suggest everybody get the book, which I should have brought it up here. I don't even know if I got it up here. Do got it. Of course, Dream, we do got it. Dictionary of Symbolic and Mythological Animals. Dictionary of Symbolic and Mythological Animals, J.C. Cooper. And in this book, it's a fire book on, you know what I'm saying, giving you the different animals and what they actually mean spiritually. So let's divination one, shall we? Give me some divine word of wisdom. Give me a divine word of wisdom. Give me a divine word of wisdom. Horse. Ha! I cannot make it up, baby. I swear to God. God damn. Of course I would turn on horse, baby. Hell nah, boy. You can't make that shit up. Damn, y'all lucky. Fuck. Hold on. See if I take off the blur. Cause y'all hell nah, boy. Of course you would turn on the horse. Goat guy, yeah, that's me. Hold on, nigga. Y'all tripping in this bitch. Damn. Wait, what page is it on? Okay, this page. Horse, nigga. That's crazy. Right there. Oh. Stop playing with your boy. Ha. Spirit is in full effect. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to y'all Grinch ass niggas. I know y'all hate it. Fuck it. I'm going to give you the real etymology and story of this Christmas thing. It says horse. Next to the dog, the horse is the closest association of humans and has been used for domestic purposes, for pleasure and racing, and as a draft animal. In earlier times, it was employed in war and drew chariots. It was a mount of kings, nobles, warriors, and heroes. There are records of its domestication from about 1750. Okay, here we go. The symbolism of the horse is both solar and lunar. Message. The symbolism of the horse is both solar and lunar. White, golden, or fiery horses are solar power on land and in the air, but the white horses of the sea and the gods of the oceans is associated with the watery lunar element. It also appears with fertility gods and the banner, or again, it changes its significance when ridden by the devil of the wild huntsman of Earl King and becomes destruction and death. Fire, baby. In general, the horse represents dynamic power, fleetness, wisdom, and the intellect, as well as the instinctive animal powers. It is also a prophetic animal with psychic and magic abilities. Well, y'all know what this is, nigga. We going into the year of the horse, right? The fire horse at that. And essentially, you know what I'm saying? We got to understand to the core that when we fall into these particular energies, we want to be able to maximize the energy for our full potential. So remember, this is all inner work, nothing is outside of yourself. So this is all the inside out of you moving and manipulating your energy so you can be that horse, right? So you can be that snake. And so you can be, you know what I'm saying, all these particular zoo types or anthropomorphic animals, right? It says when an animal shows up, a frog for rebirth, a goat for transformation, a lion for authority, it's your subconscious and the divine communicating when energy is activating, healing, or demanding expression within you right now. So whenever you see these particular symbols of animals in your waking life, just understand that it's speaking a bigger message to you, right? And this bigger message is unlocking things that you have to do in order to become anew. So I want the family to understand that to the core. And I did a whole, like when I first started my Patreon, I did a whole breakdown of animals. I just kept on calling it Symbolic Animal Tuesdays or some shit like that, right? Every Tuesday I would just drop animals. And essentially, you know what I'm saying? That's where this thing is at, right? That's what we want to look at. The aspect of what these animals represent symbolically, energetically. So don't run away from it, embrace it, right? So if you see a particular animal in your waking life and it just caught your eye, right? Essentially, you want to be able to decode that animal and embrace it, even if it feels uncomfortable. Because spirit is not putting you in bad situations, it's putting you in winning situations. But sometimes you might have to do some uncomfortable stuff to get to the goal or to the God.
Message.
So these zoo types, these animals that came into the fold was very important, especially since we know that the fire horse is on his way, baby. Told you I pulled that goddamn fire horse. Go God, go God. Yeah, that's me. And you know, just like I read, shit. The horse was one of the great sacrificial animals, the Vedic horse sacrifice being possibly the most famous of all. The horse was highly revered by the Aryans, and the sacrifice was a royal function performed in the presence of the kings, 4 queens, and 400 attendants. The occasion was a spring and summer fertility rite with strong sexual aspects. Sexual aspects. Okay, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna break that down heavy. Yeah, damn. I knew this was gonna be a good day, baby. It go down. So you know that sexual aspect is something I'm talking about heavily right now, especially when we talk about these animals raiding the wedding. So these animals raiding the wedding is essentially like the aspect of a symbol, right? These zoo types, these symbolic mythological animals saying this is not it. Speak now or forever hold your peace. If these two shall not be wed, raise your hand. Right? That's what this is. That's what happened in this particular scene. The owls came into the alignment, the goats, the birds, the horses, all of the animals came and jacked that whole wedding up, right? And then, you know, shit, the prince ran off with Elphaba, right? And even see, I still had the fire animals in here. That's absolutely amazing. So it says the 2026 Lunar New Year will be the year of the fire horse. The year begins on February 17th, 2026. So I don't want people to think it's happening right now in this January 1st time, which is 5 days away. I want the family to understand that fire horse is actually starting February 17th. So you can think of the Lover's Day coming online, right? And then your fire horse energy is going to come online based off of their lunar energy cycles and their energy. So now, what does that mean, Dream? That means you still have time to shed your skin. And your skin is the sin that you're living in. And the sin that you're living in is essentially you going against yourself.
Message.
See, when we're in this year of the snake, right? Essentially what it's saying is, who are you supposed to become? Who are you supposed to evolve into? Is your energy rising? Right? What I call this build, wicked for good, serpent fire. Is your serpent rising? Is your energy rising? Right? And essentially, we got to understand to the core, you still have a month to go before, energetically, before we move into the space of revving up our horsepower. Right? And I just want the family to be encouraged and know and understand to the core, like, listen, that old self can be eradicated. You got to know it within your heart that you are somebody greater than who you think you are. And that's going back to the self-esteem thing. Because again, if you believe in your mind that you're this particular person, then that's all you're going to ever get. So in order to transmute and transfer into a new, you're going to have to start believing in your heart something that you've never seen before, based off of your God, and you want to do it just because this life that you're living in is a big game, and you have the ability to say, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna just do that because I want to, because I'm God. So now understanding that ability of your God frequency, right? This is when you eradicate them old habits, eradicate that old thought forms, eradicate the old self, and become a new, and ride off on your horse into the sunset.
Message.
I'm just telling y'all what it is, family. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to embrace this godhood, especially if you're listening to me. Because essentially, one thing we got to understand is that you will transition out of this earth realm. And when you transition, you're going to look back and say, wait a minute, that shit was a fucking game. And in this game, I played human when I really was supposed to play God.
Sorry about you.
So, hey, just understand what this energy is calling for, and you can do it. You can do it. Just move in the space of mental alchemy. All right, let's get it on. So now, boom, and Princess and the Frog, right? He had to get rid of that particular emblem that was on the prince that was keeping him in trance in marrying the false light, or the Caucasian girl that he didn't really want to marry, right? So that's Elphaba as a frog, right? And she basically took off that emblem that was holding him captive to marrying the false light, the Caucasian girl, right? So now let's go to Adam and Eve, right? Adam and Eve is a story about Adam and Eve coming into the fold, coming into the earth as the first people ever, and Eve eating from this particular apple. But Adam is basically instructing Eve in a particular way of saying, like, look, I'm here first. You came from my rib, so you are actually my servant, if you will.
Message.
That's the whole Bible myth that they're trying to create in that particular notion. But the real game and the real understanding of this thing is Adam and Lilith, which they eradicated from the Bible and gave you this Adam and Eve thing. So Lilith is the goddess that stands up for herself, that's free from any kind of control, and that's saying, look, it's not you're higher than me. We're in this together, right? Now, y'all got to stay with me, family, because I'm still talking about something inside of you. You feel me? We're in this together. Masculine and feminine energy conjoined, and we're in this together, right? And we're going to ride up this wave. We're going to ride up this world to be become whole or to become one. And we both have attributes that's going to make us enlightened. So now, when we understand that we both have these particular attributes that's going to make us enlightened, now all of a sudden we got to move in the space of balancing these energies out and riding up the wave. So that's essentially what happened here in this Princess and the Frog movie. Elphaba, as you can see, the green guy, the green frog, right? That's her. She took off the emblem that was keeping the prince zombified, the Walking Dead, automaton, right? And when he did that, well, y'all know they became a thing. And that's what the whole Shiva and Shakti mythology is about. Shakti is the bride, right? Walking down the aisle, getting to Shiva. But remember, these are symbolic messages or metaphysical breakdowns in the aspect of your energy inside of you. So Shakti is also known as Kundalini energy. Kundalini energy, right? And this Kundalini energy is the energy core at the base of your spine that has to, is basically your spark of light, or is basically you. And essentially your Kundalini has to rise up inside of you so you could become enlightened. So you won't be thinking with your small head, you'll be thinking with your big head, which is your pineal gland, which is Shiva at the end of the altar. And thou shalt be wed. So that's what this story was about, right? They were getting married in the aspect of conjoining and creating an enlightened God body experience. You feel me? That's how you got to look at this thing when you see these particular stories. Let me play this video on Kundalini by Donahue. Y'all check this out.
At Kundalini, your 7 chakras. The sun comes down, and then it raises itself from the solar plexus.
The sun comes down, which is you. You fell down to earth, right? You're the sun, S-O-N-S-U-N, the son of God, or just, God, essentially, right? And essentially, you fell in this particular state of a human. And now you're climbing back up.
Body down the spine to the solar plexus.
To the solar plexus, follow the yellow brick road.
Place of the sun. Then the sun must rise back up to the brain to touch the pineal gland to sit at the right side. That's what this is all about. The sun comes down at birth, and it must, by the crucifixion in meditation, rise back up the spine to that which is the pineal gland of the brain. The 7 chakras. Look, go to page 1005 in the...
So understand to the core, right? Like you have an energy inside of you that you must unlock and enliven, this serpent energy, the serpent fire energy, to hit that pineal gland and hit that right side of the brain so you can become what? God, more creative, more expressive, more enlightened, but then also more channels, more downloads, more messages from your higher self.
Message.
One of the aspects of spirit that people have to understand and must understand is that this energy is going to transform you. So when you do the inner energy alchemy work, essentially you will be transformed and be renewed. Back in the day, I was a shell of myself. I was, how would you say, a sloth, really down on myself, dead, not really enlivened at all. No spirit, no nothing. Just the Walking Dead, right? Even if I knew all the spiritual information and knew all the spiritual work, right? None of that stuff mattered, because at the same time, at the end of the day, if I wasn't doing the work, then what does it mean? So I remember when I first had my Kundalini experience, I was single and I was at the gym and I was doing semen retention. And in the semen retention that I was doing, I was manipulating my energy, you know what I'm saying, through the understanding of what semen retention was. I can't remember what day I was on. I think I was past 30 days though, at least. And essentially, as I was in undergoing that particular energy of the semen retention back then, I was heavy in the weight room, crazy. Like, you know, I was doing 2 a-days during that time. You feel me? I was going crazy. Anyway, what happened was I did a heavy amount of squats. I think it was like 415 or something like that. It was crazy, like heavy, not the 315. I know what 3 plates is. 315 plus whatever. It probably was, you know what it was? Let me see, 315 plus another 25, 365. 365, yeah, 365 pounds, right? Nigga, but I'm telling you, I was a monster. You like real crazy monster. Anyway, boom, hit that squat, came up, you feel me? I was doing sets of two reps, you know what I'm saying? 3 sets of 2s, right? Anyway, on my second set, boom, I hit it, came up, my energy just shot up to my head. And all of a sudden, I just started seeing the world differently. I couldn't even do the 3rd set because my energy was so enlivened and so enthralled that I was just, whoa. It was like a rush or a high. That's an accidental Kundalini experience that I felt. And in that rush and high that I felt, essentially, I became anew from that moment on. Because then I you know what I'm saying, I knew what clarity was. I knew what a new mind was. So then it took me down a rabbit hole to go 10-day fast, 30-day fast, 40-day fast, and really seek out that sort of high that I never felt before. So I want the family to understand that this whole Wicked Decoded is a Kundalini story. And it's basically reflecting a particular energy to you to give you the story of enlightenment, of Christ consciousness. Hey, Merry Christmas, baby.
Bible for just a minute. Look at Revelation chapter 5 and verse 1. And this entire Kundalini, or the energy that comes down through the spine and raises itself back up to touch the right hand, to touch the right hemisphere of the brain, is described in Revelation chapter 5 and verse 1. And I saw in the right hand, that's the right hemisphere of the brain, of him who sat on the throne, which is the higher point of your mind, a book which is life story, written within you, and on the back side, sealed with 7. How many? This isn't the Hindu Vedas you have in your hand. It's a Bible. And do you know what? The people that read the Bible haven't the slightest idea what that means.
So shout out to Bill Donahue. Shout out to the God. And y'all know Kundalini is an important part of your spiritual walk. But before the Kundalini, you must heal them chakras, because these chakras are basically your resistance to being human. So remember, you're ridding yourself of the human emotions when you relieve yourself of these chakras or balance out these chakras. And in doing your chakra work, ridding yourself of the human emotions, essentially what happens is your energy becomes to rise, and now your microcosmic orbit can start to take effect on you, right? And then your microcosmic orbit taking effect on you, that's when you get more dreams, more prophetic experiences, more signs and symbols to understand that this whole world is a matrix and you can see past the veil. And then seeing past the veil, essentially you start to see the world from a different lens. We was reading this book in the Patreon, Self-Unfoldment by Disciplines of Realization, right? And this is an important part that I want to bring up real quick. In the book, Competitive Metaphysics. Let me get this goddamn sound effect right.
Message.
Competitive Metaphysics. Who the fuck are you competing with, my nigga? You're not competing with Dream Wise. You're not competing with Will Capru. You're not competing with Brother Yosef, whoever. You are competing with yourself. So you got to understand, don't worry about what other people are doing and how they're getting to it. You got to worry about you and move into the particular space and notion of getting your work in by yourself and doing your great alchemy. I used to have these particular same experiences, same feelings of jealousy, if you will, seeing Panic talk about these miraculous experiences that he was having. And eventually what I did was I just let it go and say, you know what, fuck that shit. I ain't worried about none of that shit. I'm going to just do me and keep on doing me. And in doing me, the goals and the gods start coming online heavier. You feel me? So you have to be able to remove yourself from any kind of notion of comparing yourself with anybody else. Because you're robbing yourself of your present moment, of your gift to just be great within yourself. It says competitive metaphysics also is detrimental to placidity. Placidity is basically you being in a place of awareness, knowing where you're at, the ability to see and be present and to be in your work, or to understand as you're doing this work repetitiously. This is the self-unfoldment by disciplines of realizations. As you're doing this work repetitiously, right? Now you can kind of see where you're at and move according to your newfound story based off of you're constantly, repetitiously, habitually becoming anew or understanding yourself from more and more levels every day. And it might not seem like it's every day, but it's damn near every day or every something. You was like, oh, aha, right? New unlockings that's coming into the fold of you. Competitive metaphysics also is detrimental to placidity. The man worrying about his soul growth, or the one fretting inwardly because he has not yet had visions and initiations, is destroying the very environment required for inward enlightenment.
Message.
So don't worry if your Kundalini hasn't shot up, or if you haven't had prophetic dreams or lucid dreams. You have to keep going and understanding that this is not about nobody else. This is about you. A great thing that you can do is to just keep learning this stuff or just watching videos on this stuff. Because essentially what's going to happen is you're going to start to realize, oh, okay, it's just a continuous process of growth and expansion. So if I keep on just watching the videos, essentially what you focus on grows. So now when your focus comes into another line of sight, now all of a sudden you'll just continue the process and walking down the yellow brick road with confidence, with self-esteem, with high self-esteem. It says, the man worrying about his soul growth, or the one fretting inwardly because he has not yet had visions and initiations, is destroying the very environment required for inward enlightenment. It is as necessary to be detached from self as from the affairs of others.
Message.
So I want the family to understand that to the core. Fuck these niggas, including me. And do you, nigga. You feel me? Because at the same time, at the end of the day, this ain't about nobody else. This is about you winning. This is about you succeeding in this third dimensional construct. And you changing your soul travels to a new. So I had to say that because Spirit just tugged me with it quick. Like, nigga, tell these niggas what time it is. Because that shit will hold niggas back for years. All right, so y'all got the Kundalini story, right? Shiva being with, or Shakti walking down the aisle. Shakti is walking down the aisle as your Kundalini, right? To meet with Shiva at the altar of your mind. And then you have enlightenment, and this enlightenment is essentially your newfound world. You breaking out of the matrix. And boom, here go the Kundalini, Shakti, Shiva, snake riding up the story, right? Because we got to understand that to the core, it's all based on you doing your work alchemically, spiritually, and moving into the fold. See, the reason why we're reading this particular book is because it's not as easy as let me take a weekend to do Kundalini work. This is a never-ending story. So what we have to find in ourselves is the discipline to say, you know what, for an hour a day, I'm going to tap into making love to myself in the spiritual realm, which is my spiritual work. 1 hour a day, 30 minutes a day, whatever it takes, at the same time, repetitiously, continuously. Because that is the great transformation when you continuously, repetitiously do the spiritual mental alchemy work every day. So you got to look at it in a vacuum and say, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care how long it takes. I got the information. I see all the sages and the wise men speak on this particular notion of enlightenment. So now what I'm going to do is every day I'm going to challenge myself at 7 a.m. to do some spiritual work, whether that's meditating, whether that's chakra work, shadow work, Kundalini work, whatever it might be. And I'm going to just stay consistent in that fold because, again, I love me and I love where my soul is going. Very, very important to understand that to the core family. I can't make it up. And then you seen Elphaba get with the prince, right? Now that shit threw me off for a limbo. I said, whoa. Huh. I said, jungle fever for your ass.
Sorry about you.
I said, no, she did not. She got with that nigga the same day of the wedding. I'm talking about, god damn. She couldn't even help it. She said, nah, that's my friend, but fuck that bitch. I need this wood right now. And then white wood at that. White wood at that. Nigga, my mama funny, nigga. She bought a bag. She, you know, they had the Christ mass gifts and shit, right? She bought, you know, the kids gifts or whatever. And, you know, they got the bags and shit, the Christmas gift bags and stuff. One of the bags said, big gift energy. I said, hell nah, Baba, big gift energy. What? I said, goddamn, mama, I know you ain't got no wood in a long time, but goddamn, don't be serving this up to my kids and shit. You got me fucked up.
Sorry about you.
Big gift energy. I said, hell nah, that's subconsciously saying my mama needs some wood. My mama needs to get her ass dick down. I was fucked. I said, babe, let's put all the trash in that bag, that big gift energy bag. Ha. I said, hell nah, boy. She coming in there with this, hey, Merry Christmas, man. I was like, hey, what did I say? I said, mama, you know you wrong, boy. Shout out to my mama, man. The grandparents showed out always. They show out. You know what I'm saying? You know, we got our kids the PS5 games the other day. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just be in the spirit. You know, you let your grandparents do that. Look, you know what I'm saying? That old generation, they're stuck in a mode and a mindset. So they have to carry out these particular adventures for their grandkids and even us, their kids, because essentially, you know what I'm saying, they need to figure out a place in the world. And if it makes them feel good, then I'm for it all the way. So yeah, bring them gifts over. We celebrating y'all because that's what this whole thing is about. It's about reciprocity. It's about, you know, understanding where your parents are at mentally, right? And then being able to remove yourself from any kind of notion of, oh no, it's Christmas spirit, no, we ain't doing that, right? And then allowing your parents to be them who they naturally are. So to stop fighting their particular energy. Now we're not saying let them take them to church and no shit like that. But you know what I'm saying? Christmas gifts, you know, let them get their fix on.
Message.
because they need it. Okay, where was I at? Okay, boom. So Elphaba got what to do quick. Jungle fever. I ain't playing no games. Getting hit quick, immediately. And that's the real marriage. So they showed that sex scene because that's the real marriage, right? So the wedding is a false marriage, but we know sex is actually the real marriage, right? And that's the aspect of penis and vagina coming together and creating the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, or father, mother, child, right? So you're energetically speaking to the goddess with your penis, fellas. And you got to understand that to the core, right? You dicking her down is a language that you're communicating to her. So whenever y'all are in this love making process, you're communicating a particular frequency or energy that's inside of you, that's giving her essentially your light, or you know what I'm saying, in the form of your semen, right? But you don't have to give out the necessary semen. You can hold it for yourself, but essentially you're still giving her light and information on how to move or how to carry or what we got planned. You feel me? Because again, she's nurturing your energy and she's nurturing your thoughts because she wants to be led in a particular direction of, okay, let's put this project together and let's make this thing a whole, right? So this was a perfect and beautiful example of Kundalini energy, right? Elphaba getting with the prince. And Elphaba is again the Lilith energy or the Shakti energy, right? So it's basically Shakti Shiva getting together, you feel me, in matrimony, in holy matrimony. And as y'all remember, Princess and the Frog, yes, sir, they got together, they kissed. Now, you know, they got to make it a child thing. So the kiss is basically sex or love. And then, boom, now he turns into the prince. And now they can own their business at the at the chicken shack, I think it was, at the end of this Princess and the Frog. Ain't that a bitch? They always getting black people chicken shack shit. I said, God damn, it was a juke joint. It was a juke joint, which is fire, which I think it was a juke joint, but they were selling chicken out of that bitch. I said, that's some racist shit for your ass. God damn. They just had to, you know, them Disney white people, they like, you know what? Let's give them the story, but fuck it. At the end, let's make sure they selling them chicken. I said, God damn, you couldn't give us a mall or something? Why can't they create a mall? God damn, let them create a goddamn neighborhood full of houses. Y'all get this juke joint over here in the corner, and we renting it to your bitch ass. You taking out a loan. I seen that Princess and the Frog. I said, boy, they think they slick. They ain't getting me though. I'm owning mini malls and shit. Fuck all that bullshit. So, you know, this is important, family. This energy, this Kundalini energy, is important. You can't run away from your Lilith energy because it's here to destroy. It's here to destroy the human, and that's where people get confused. Like, the human is not you. You're here to destroy that aspect of the human that's keeping you a shell of yourself. That's keeping you in lockdown. That's keeping you confused. When you destroy it by raising your Kundalini energy up, and I'll give y'all a few different techniques. One aspect, and this ain't no medical advice, one thing you can do is fasting is a very powerful tool that you can use for your Kundalini, right? Because essentially, when you clean out, essentially your energy can rise, right? Now, this ain't going to happen overnight. So you got to think about it like a process where you're manipulating your body to get into a particular state or into a new by raising your energy. Semen retention for the fellas is very important, and there's a different aspect for the goddesses in Matak Chia's book, where he deals with the goddesses, or Manwi Chia, Matak's wife. She deals with the goddesses and raising up her Kundalini. Here goes the book, Kundalini Agora. There's a few different books that y'all can tap into. I want to give y'all an easier one. There goes one. Wheels of light. Wheels of light. See, just by reading these books, right? When you just read these books, you're doing the spiritual work. You feel me? A lot of times we think just because we heard somebody on the video say it, now we get it, right? But essentially what you got to do is bypass all of that and move into the space of saying, you know what? Let me read it for myself, because reading is fundamental, right? And it's going to put you in the aspect of imagination. You feel me? Orgasm, empowerment, emergence. So you know what I'm saying? Find the time to read this stuff, family. I can't make it up. Sometimes you might not need the information, but it might come. You might not need the information right now, but it'll come into service for you when it needs to. Sexuality and service. Sexuality is part of the rest and regeneration cycle of those who live on this planet. Sexuality becomes particularly essential to those in service because by and large, they will be spending most of their lives in the presence of negative energy fields, disease, depression, and addiction. The people who serve do not stay filled up, those negative fields will attach to them. When Kundalini is not flowing and the field is depleted, a vacuum is created. Such a field will tend to attract other fields of greater or larger energy. So see, I even turned to Kundalini. That's crazy. If we are constantly around negative fields, those fields will impact us. When people are tired, when their energy feeder systems are closed, when they are out of their bodies, they are fair game for all the negativity around them. The obvious way to avoid such situations is to be open enough to keep the Kundalini always flowing, the system always conscious. So this is fire, family. I really want to read this whole thing to y'all, baby, because they going in on this Kundalini aspect. And this page is 177. Oh, look, the Kundalini Center and Karma. So you feel me? Go get this book, Wheel of Light, Chakras, Auras, and the Healing Energy of the Body. Rosalie L. Berry, right? Very, very good book. Very, very good stuff. Very good stuff. Boom. So boom, we know that's Elphaba. That's Elphaba. And yeah, he became the Scarecrow, right? And we know the Scarecrow as what? I want to have a brain. Check it out. But what they do in this particular world is they give you a brain, or they give you the idea of confidence, right? Self-esteem, in the aspect of saying, okay, here goes a degree, here goes your brain. Check this out.
Where I come from, we have universities, seats of great learning, where men go to become great thinkers. And when they come out, they think deep thoughts, and with no more brains than you have. But they have one thing you haven't got, a diploma. Therefore, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Universitatis Comitiatum e Pluribus Unum, I hereby confer upon you the honorary degree of THD.
THD?
That's Doctor of Thinkology.
Sum of the square roots of any two sides of an isosceles triangle is equal to the square root of the remaining side. Oh, joy! Rapture! I've got a brain! How can I ever thank you enough?
Well, you can't.
That nigga got a piece of paper and instantly got a brain. You know people like that. You know people like that with them degrees. Instantly get that piece of paper and now they got a brain. So that's this whole aspect of what the prince is, right? He doesn't have a brain, but what happens? Shakti is going to enlighten his first brain, which is his pineal gland.
Message.
And that's the Kundalini story that's being showed or displayed in this particular build. See, when we look at these movies and understand that there's a deeper meaning behind it, and they're trying to give people the message or the information without giving it to you, All it is mythologies over and over and over again. So whenever you do come into your awakened state or your enlightened state, essentially you'll start to see the same symbols coming into the fold in these movies, in these stories, and in these shows that we watch, because essentially these are the new mythologies. I can't wait to see that Avatar Ash and Fire. I can't wait. I'm just waiting for these babysitters to come so we can go see it together, Avatar Ash and Fire, and then y'all know the Decode will come for that. So Elphaba is giving the Prince of Brain because her Shakti energy, her Lilith energy is rising to the top to make you the king. So the prince turns into the king, and the king becomes the crown chakra, or where you receive light and divine intervention from your higher self.
Message.
So I want the family to understand that to the core. This is a very big deal, and this all boils down to one thing, one big thing: love. And this love that you have for yourself is actually what's going to manipulate your world into a new. I just seen a powerful symbol today. I just seen it today. Check this shit out. Hold on, let me see. Now let's do it like this. Watch this. Venus, spiritual meaning. So, let's see, share screen. So Venus, spirituality. Venus represents the divine feminine embodying love. Let me do this. Let me make sure y'all can see it so we can dive deeper into the fold. How do I do? Okay, here we go. Okay. Venus represents the divine feminine embodying love, beauty, pleasure, harmony, and relationships. There you go, relationships. Acting as a guide to higher connection, sensuality, and artistic expression, but also symbolizing the deeper journey of the soul through transformation. Rebirth. Morning star. That's Kundalini. Rebirth, right? Elphaba, right? Heket, right? Follow me. And the morning star, the evening star, which is Kundalini, and balancing earthly desires, ridding yourself of the human emotions, right, with spiritual truth, connecting to intuition and embodied wisdom. So that Venus energy, right? Venus energy is very important to understand to the core, right? That's the loving energy, and that's the love that you have for yourself, right? And then getting back to it, we see Elphaba and the prince, right? They're basically in an interracial relationship, jungle fever. But going back to it, right? Let's look up Venus being married. Boom. Venus just got married. Chaos in the blood, baby. I can't make it up. I cannot make it up. This girl, she was a virgin for however many years she was a virgin for. And now she finally got married to a Caucasian man. Absolutely amazing. And this is spirit showing naked ass to us right now and telling us that, look, that love energy, right? It breaks all racial barrier lines. And just understand that the deeper story or the deeper magic is in the aspect of becoming anew, becoming a whole, becoming masculine and feminine energies conjoining to be enlightened. Let's see how old Venus is, because that's the biggest thing. Venus age. And Venus is the Williams, right? 45, baby. She just missed. Oh, that's that 9, baby. Chaos in the blood. That's it.
Message.
That's it. And that's it, baby. That's it. Leaving the 9 year and going into the 10 with the transformation. Absolutely amazing time to be alive, family. I just want y'all to understand. If y'all can't see the signs and symbols, don't worry, DreamWise got you. So now getting back to it, right? There go Venus and her prince again, showing naked ass, right? In this story. Now we got to understand to the core. See, Spirit, I was going to do this Monday, but Spirit told me, you know what? Do it on Christ Mass Day, right? And essentially, you know what I'm saying? I listened to Spirit, and sure enough, there go that Venus and her prince story coming into the fold. Yesterday, they got married. So there ain't no such thing as a coincidence, right? You just had to follow Spirit and know that, you know, particular messages will come and reveal itself more and more to confirm something that you've been thinking. So now, all of a sudden, when we fall out of this particular space and fall out of the race thing, we understand that even with Elphaba and the Witch of the North, right? They had a particular relationship as well, which just simply meant to show the family out of darkness comes light. And the darkness is you going into your inner world, your inner self, in order for your world, your third dimensional world, which is the world of the light, to become anew, to become what you want it to become. So the more you start to fall into the love and state of feeling good, the more you start to move into the space and power of your truth, of your godhood. Hey, let's get it. Silver bells, silver bells. This Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling. Speaking of silver bells. Boom. The bell. Let's see what the bell means, shall we? Yeah, this is my gift to y'all, family. You know what it is. You know how dream get. Silver wedding bells symbolize the joyous union, happiness, and blessings of marriage.
Message.
Often representing the elegant 25th silver anniversary. 25 is what? The 7, the chakra system.
Message.
Signifying durability, strength, and a lasting commitment. While historically, bells ward off evil spirits and announced the couple, with silver bells used for blessings and reminders of vows and traditions like the Irish wedding ceremony. I want the family to understand that we're here, family, we're here. And the silver bells is ringing. You feel me? Don't let me sing again. I will sing again. You feel me? Be in a joyous space. Be in a loving space. Get into your notion or your gnosis of self-love and falling into your world, into you, your own universe. Hold on, let's get it again because I can do it again. You feel me? I can do it again, baby. You know, dream is the GOAT. We got, you know how I get. Hold on, where's it at? Where is it at? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's get it. Hold on. I'll do the first family real quick. I just came in. I don't know how I get that. Children laughing, people passing, eating smile after smile, and on every street corner you'll hear silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, get a ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Hey. Hey, man, I love and appreciate y'all, family. Love and appreciate y'all. Y'all know what it is. Peace to the gods.